All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Sport webinar. Today's date is Saturday. This is August 27th, 2016. And the title of today's webinar is Looking Left to Trade the Right Using Lightning. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading rooms, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar, other webinars we might have, our live trading rooms, or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? If not, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, real quick before we get started, since we've always got new people coming in, I want to just real quick show some of the favorite trades that we like here at Viper Trading Systems. And I'll be going over several of those today because we're going to be looking to the left to trade the right. All right, now you should be able to see the chart on the screen. I've got like a little, like for lack of better terms, I guess, a little pyramid drawn here. But anyway, it's building blocks to success. Pick your favorite trades and stay faithful to those. My favorite one is basically starting at the top here, the predictor type trade, the KISS trade, which is really looking to the left to trade the right. The mid-band trades, always looking to the left too to see if it is hitting a good support area, for instance, or resistance. The phantom trade, a deeper retracement type trade, and then also your tight consolidation patches. And these could be at mid-band, or they can even be for scalps. If you're good enough to see, for instance, really good support areas, even though the chart will be short as it can be, and you want to box something in and try to take a long trade, that's what Object Trader was built for too. Okay, so these are the 5 trades that I personally like an awful lot. Okay, now you'll notice over here on this chart that anytime you're trading, in a perfect world, of course, you'd just be stair-stepping. You'd have a price jump, and then it level out for a while, and then it jump again, and then it would level out, and then it would jump again. That's kind of what they're doing to begin with, because what they're doing is they're thrusting up. They're kind of leveling out, about a 50%, sometimes 61% on their little jumps and all that. But then they thrust again, and then they pull back, and then they thrust again. And then, of course, the other side is the same thing. And this can be in your smaller trends, your secondary trend, which I call power meter 2, your power meter 3, which is your medium trends, or your power meter 4, which is your longer term trend. Okay, now these are going to be lit accordingly to what's really going on the chart too. All right, let me go ahead and get rid of this chart, and we'll look at another chart. Okay, you should be able to see another chart coming up on your screen. And I like to actually look at just basically a bare chart, at least to start my day. I'm getting my cup of coffee and everything first thing in the morning. I'll throw up a chart of oil, for instance, which I'm getting ready to trade. And I want to kind of get away from this stuff, where it's, it can be a little more confusing when you see prices all over the place and things like that. But the beauty of this chart is this is the same chart, and this is kind of showing me, where we've actually been so far. Okay, and it's important to know, where you might be going, for instance, if they break out or something like that. Looking at this chart right here, for instance, right now, I can see that I've got micro support there, and I've got micro resistance basically right up here. Okay, I've got my larger resistance area like right up in here at 46. I've also got it at 41, so I'd probably draw a line there, and then I'd draw a line something like that. And that's kind of what I'm looking at when I'm trading like this. And of course, if it does thrust up above, for instance, if we go long, or if it thrusts down below, I'm actually looking for the little thrust up and pull back into these areas. Okay, and looking to the left to trade the right is really, really good, because I want to show you a couple of things that you'll be able to see really easily. Hopefully we didn't lose audio, did we? Pete says we lost audio. Is everybody else hearing my audio fine? Testing audio, 1, 2, 3. Everybody else is hearing it. Let me message Pete real quick and tell him to log out and back in. Just one sec. Bear with me just one sec. There we go. Typed him a little message there. Okay, so everybody else can hear me, so we're good to go. All right. Now, how far do you have to look back to draw lines? Well, John, on your question, what I personally like to do is just looking to the left to trade the right. I just look back a little ways. You know, for instance, these numbered, dots that are on this chart right here, I think everybody knows that's looked at these charts, knows that the blue ones and the white ones are off the 12 range chart. So see, basically, if I was to draw this, I could draw it with lightning, but I want to draw it manually so everybody can see it. Basically you would have a thrust up, right? You would have no retrace as of yet, do you? You don't have a white here as of yet. Okay? Now we may get one, for instance, if it does a little thrust retrace and everything, we might get it even right here. Okay? Let's just draw it there for now, because that's the low of the little session so far anyway, right? And then I would expect something like this if my 4 range chart was to do, or pardon me, my 12 range chart was to do what I expect it to do. You should be able to see, bear with me a second. Bear with me one second. Is it moving now? Can you see the cursor? Okay, all right. See, what I'm doing is I'm drawing from the 12 range. This is power meter 4 right here. This is showing you that basically right now you have a low here, you got a high here, you got a low here, more than likely anyway, and then a high somewhere up in here, possibly, right? And if you look to the left, you'll see that you could draw it even further down. See, this is your 12 range swings. And you can draw this with the actual meter itself with the lightning indicator. See, this is what it's done so far. That's basically your 12 range. And notice how you had a thrust up, a retrace. It never really took out the lows. You had basically a kiss type support area right here. See, and then you got a higher high again. So this is your established low. This may become your next established low. We don't know that yet because this is where the prices are right now. But this is what I would expect looking at this chart. Okay, because my 12 range is actually, still heading up at this time anyway. Okay, now let's look at the lightning 3 and see what it looks like. I'll draw it with the indicator because it's control key. We'll just go ahead and draw it with the indicator. Okay, now looking at this even, let's draw it from over here to the left too, just so we're good and fair on showing the trend. Okay, see your lightning 3, you basically had, like a low here, a high over here, a higher low, higher high, higher low, didn't take out the highs. You had a kiss type trade here, but isn't this actually still trending up on your longer term trend, but it is doing some retracing as we speak. So that's what you got to learn to really see on your charts. And sometimes when you've got a chart like this, unless you really train your eyes to see it, that's a little tougher to see. But it's really important. I mean, I can't explain any stronger how important looking to the left to trade the right is. Because, in that trading room, when we draw those lines on that chart, we know where that support and resistance is, that we're going to be getting some of these good little trades. Okay? Now, I think everybody that's been with us for quite a while or even checked us out on trial or anything else, we also have what we call the minor swing. Okay? Now, I'll draw the minor swing, which is lightning 1. I'll draw it from down here. All right, and that's yellow right there, so that's a little harder to see, but you can still see it. So can everybody tell, for instance, with this mid-band like this being yellow, that means we're still in an uptrend. Okay, our ellipses are green and blue, so it means that we're still in an uptrend. Okay, so we're actually looking to take long trades. And of course, we could actually do something like this. We could draw like a trend line. take a trade if it breaks that line to the upside. We could also take the lightning break if we're a little bit more conservative. That would be across here. And then looking to the left to trade the right, we would know about where we're going on our retracements by simply looking at lightning also. I see some resistance that's already checked right in through here. So here's resistance here. All right. There's resistance here, 36. There's resistance at 41. Everybody see these? And you just draw on your charts. You can do this in your mind if you want. You don't have to have lines on your chart, but it's good to know where the trade is trying to go. Okay, and you can clearly see that if you look at your lightning, which is designed by the power meter type setups. Right now, for instance, this could easily change trends. Our main trend is long, but our lightning trend is still short. So when we got this going short, we could have easily gotten this trade, shorted it, okay? But a lot of times we don't do that because see that ellipse there? That's blue, and this one's still green. So even though this has changed, this is still telling us we haven't gotten a downtrend just yet. Doesn't mean you can't trade it down. I mean, we do all the time where we do stuff like this. We'll see something do this and do a double top, draw a trend line, take that short, buy the long at the phantom. That's another trade that was on that little building blocks to success. The phantom trade. And the phantom trade is really good first time after a trend change. And see, this one didn't really trend change, but it did ratchet up. See your phantom down in here, also here, and then also here. These are really good trades to the upside, by the way. Okay, so let's see if we can, looking to the left to trade the right, what we would do. And also diagnose your chart ahead of time because you need to know where it's going to pull back to also. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you decided, do you want to take the trend line break? Do you want to take the break of lightning? Or do you want to wait for the pullback? What says the team? Now, if you're an aggressive trader, obviously you can clearly see that you could more than likely take this trend line break, okay, to the upside. Trend line breaks are good. You could take the lightning break, which is a little higher. Your stop would have to be all the way under here. Or you could wait for, if it's going to head up, we don't know yet, but if it is going to head up, we would expect it to do this, pop up, and then pull back into an area. Now let's see if we can tell what area that it's going to pull back into. And I know some of our Viper traders are going to get this because this particular trade is extremely popular. Okay, let's just watch it in real time. I'm not going to do any trades for a little bit. I want you to see how to see the left to trade the right. Okay, we've got this in market replay, but if you've been in our room, you know we call these live all the time. You can't trade live right now, Saturday. But watch it in real time and tell me if you can't see some of these. We'll just let it do its thing for a few minutes. I'll kick it to about 6 times normal speed because I want everybody to see what you should be able to see in real time as you're trading because they always go back to the left. Always. Okay, now see we're getting a little breakup off of support right here, which a lot of traders would already be getting this, by the way. That's also breaking a trend line. See it right here? Just broke that trend line. You could always turn on bar close to take the trade. Okay? Not as interested in showing trades because I know we can get some trades. What I want to show you is how to see, if you miss a trade also, where it's going to appear back again. Okay, let's watch it in just, I got it running about 6-7 times normal speed. It should go fast enough. Let me look and see if we got any questions real quick. You could box it. Yeah, you could box it. Let's see. Trend lines are really, really good, of course. How do we get the screen to be this blank, OJ? I've got the this little template on the website. but I'll be more than happy to get it to you. It's real easy to build it, but to me, it's a really good way to look at the chart. It's kind of like going into a forest and trying to find an individual tree. You know, you got to kind of focus yourself to do it. If you're in an airplane, you'd see the whole forest, but if you're down there on the ground, you'd see the individual trees. And that's what we're trying to do, is see the individual trees. Okay, we could go ahead and take this if y'all want to. You want to? Okay, it's above the line. I'm not afraid of it. I would put my stop just under here, exit on close. Just underneath that swing, just in case this is not going to take lightning out. See, lightning, this is not, sorry about that, this is not an uptrend until it takes this swing out right across here. Everybody sees that, right? See your swing? High, low, lower high, lower low. Identified lightning. Okay, that's an identified lightning swing. So this is risky to do this with a trend line, but your stop would be obviously just underneath the swing, and I like to use exit on close just in case they wick it. Okay, we got a little bit of profit. But what I want you to see more than anything, though, I want you to see after the thrust, the most important. If we get a thrust, we may even head down. We don't know. I don't trade at 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I trade more close to 7. But I want everybody in here, once you see it, type in a number of where this thing will either retrace back up to or retrace back down to. And we're going to find out in a few minutes, just as soon as it breaks one way or the other. I'm going to put this just 2 ticks underneath this just in case. Exit on close. See why I'm doing that? Because that bar went down. And see our lightning, this is a little riskier trade because our lightning is still to the downside so far. And it has not gotten down to a predictor yet either. This is where the predictor is. See if we get stopped out on this. That's awful close, isn't it? See, one thing about it, if you do like 3 contracts, there's $210 in your face. And you think, uh-oh, did I just mess up? Well, doing a trend line, let's face it, that was the trend line. That's what everybody called for. All right. Yeah, it looks like we're going to still be okay. Check the bottom, at least for now. Now, this is not your lightning swing right here. This is not identified. See, it didn't take the low out over here to the left. Now, if it takes this out like that, that's your identified swing. That means that if it takes that out, that they're more than likely going to continue heading up a little bit because they're taking out lightning swing. Let's see what we get. Now looking to the left to trade the right, what are we looking at on this chart if it just decides to pop, like, well, let's say if it pops to the upside. You should literally be able to see about where it's going to retrace to, because what are they going to do? They're going to thrust up and pull back, or they're going to thrust down and pull back up. Should you have waited till, oh, look at that. Beautiful. All right, now let's look at something else here real quick. Looking to the left to trade the right. I'm going to pause this for just a second because people that have been with us a while, and I'm going to back this off with nothing on the chart. Let's go ahead and get rid of lightning real quick. We'll just go ahead and reload Ninja Script. All right. Now, I've taught this for a number of years. Where do we draw the lines that if you miss this trade, that it's more than likely going to come back to? And I know a lot of you are going to get it almost on the money, and some of you are going to miss it a little bit, but that's why you have to have a stop. Anybody? Numbers? All right, let's draw them. I'm seeing some numbers coming in. I'm seeing 47.24, 47.22, 47.20. All right, and I'm going to show you where these are, and you can see this in real time, believe me, because we do it all the time in the Viper room. All right, people are seeing this area right here. Let's draw a line. it busted up above it, right? Let's go with a little bit different color line so y'all can see it better. Dark blue's fine. All right, it busted up above here. Now, where else did it bust up above? Oh, I'm seeing some people getting that one too. Good deal. Good deal. That's important. There you go. There you go. Well, let's draw it if everybody doesn't see it. Let's draw it. We'll even draw it from over here. It doesn't matter. Okay, you got a little low here. So you have a thrust, a retrace, right? That's a higher low and a higher high way up here. Even right now, we know that. So this is the low they cannot take out if they're going to head up. And this is where they broke out. Everybody see that? Now, how much easier could it be to trade than that? It's going to either bounce here. This is what we call a shallow retracement, or it's going to bounce here. And usually what I see is if they kind of jog their way out, okay, it's a little more difficult to tell, but you can still do it with lightning. But if they do this thrust like this, you can tell they're going to come back at least to here or here. Looking to the left to trade the right, they're looking at this spot here and maybe even here. See this 19 area? So in the trading room, we would draw a line right there on that chart. So your last question should have waited till 20. Yeah, Pervez, on your question, you know, what I was doing there, I was showing people how to do like a trend line. The only thing about a trend line is when you trade trend lines, you know, at the time, this is all we saw, right? Right, like that. Okay, so we got filled on that bar. Okay, notice that they came all the way back down. What if we would have done our trend line more like that? Well, obviously, we would have been filled here, right? And the lightning swing was actually 20. Now, keep in mind, if you take the lightning swing, you know, the conservative trade, your stop's still got to be down here. So the person that did this trade like this had a pretty tight stop to begin with, okay, because it was just under the swing. And this was even the swing to the left. See the little thrust, retrace thrust? You know, this line right here was pretty much telling you that they were trying to hold this area pretty well. You know, they wicked it a little bit, okay? So when you got in that trade with that trend line, you could have put your stop there if you're a real aggressive type trader. And if you're more of a less of an aggressive trader, you would actually wait for it to break lightning, which is right there. Okay, and you did get a good trade on it. Now let's see if this does do what we said. Watch it not do it, but anyway, we're gonna take a chance on it because that's what I see on the chart. Do I like the double bottoms after a trend line is broken? Those are good too, John, on your question. The only problem with a 4-range chart is that sometimes you'll actually get, you know, little head fakes, and then they'll still, you know, take it. This trade right here, by the way, I would probably do a quick 5 ticker if it takes out that lightning right there, because it's at least coming down to here. If it does it too fast, we won't get it. Now keep in mind, this is trading lightning to the downside. See if we can get something. Now when I'm going counter trend, I will only go for like 5 ticks because all I care about is that quick 5 ticks. See that right there? I'd put my stop just right above there, exit on close. You could do bar close, yes. Now one thing about these little 5-tick trades, they work out pretty good because see that hit that predictor right there? You know, that's not a bad little trade, although we may not get our 5 ticks. And it doesn't look like we're going to actually. See, it didn't quite come down to the swing right here. And that's okay. It might make it. So your basic belief is an uptrend. Absolutely, Pervez, on your question, with what we've got so far, you know, you've got your mid band is yellow, which is sideways. That means you can trade it both ways. That's the only reason that I shorted that is because this is sideways. If this was blue, I don't normally short those. But since it was side, there we got it. Okay, now real quick. Where did we draw our lines on this chart just a minute ago? Everybody remember? You drew one here at 17 and one here at 19. Where did it come? Where did it actually come to? It came to a really good area of a predictor and right where we thought it would. So is that a decent trade? It's almost magic. It absolutely is. If you can learn to see on your chart, to look to the left, to trade the right, get away from those stinking minute charts and all the bigger charts and even the bigger Rankos and things like that, you know, granted, you're not going to get as much, well, with the bigger charts, you're going to get a lot more smoothing, and that's what we don't want is smoothing. Let's see. Do I agree with experts that long-term success is unlikely doing scalp trades? I would without Viper, Dave. That I'm kind of biased on that, but I don't as much. Because what is a scalp trade? You know, to me, a scalp is like somebody that's trying to get 2 or 3 ticks, and then they, get 2 or 3 ticks and risk 12 to get it. And the beauty of the predictor is it absolutely says otherwise. Now, looking at the same thing that we just looked at, what do we see happening before our face right now? Well, they're taking out lightnings, right? They're taking out your lightning swings. And let's look to the left and see if we can get another trade. You want to see if we can get another one? I like to draw on my charts. Okay, we know we've been down here, so that scratches that one off the table, unless they do a little double bottom. So you'd think they'd come back here, or if they break up, they'd come here. Everybody see that? So let's see if we get something like that. We've got one contract left on, but let's just kill it. Let's see if we can get another trade. Also, I like to look, with looking to the left to trade the right, you always got to look and see where your swing is. Really important. You've got what we call a micro swing, and you've got a secondary swing. And you've got a medium swing. And then after that, you've got the larger term swings. Okay? We're not in the trade, but it looks to me like it's still going to go. It looks like it's going to even take this out. You want to take it again? Well, we can take it if it takes out that lightning. We'll do that. That's lightning. That's a little riskier trade, and I wouldn't put my stop way, way down under here on this one. But since we've flattened this one, I'll take this if it takes out lightning. And to close the bar, it would have to take it out. So I've got bar close turned on, long entry. Now, one thing I would say, Dave, on the experts on the scalping part, is that if they're basically getting in on lagging indicators and things like that and not trading price, I would totally agree with them. Because lagging indicators will eat your lunch. Well, Pervez, on your question, this is because we killed the trade. I wouldn't be afraid of this trade if it took out this lightning. See the swing? High, low, lower high, lower low. If it takes it out, it should at least go to there. That would give me probably 5 ticks. And more than likely, since they've already checked here, they're going to go up into here, 41 or even 46, looking to the left to trade the right. That's what I expect. You want to see if it does? We'll take the bar close. And by the way, you could also look at this little swing right here, thrust, retrace, thrust, that they should hold that 25 to begin with. So you could actually put your stop just under there with exit on close. Now notice we only did one set of contracts because Object Trader's set for 5 ticks. I'll go ahead and do one more so that we can get some more targets. Now, how many of you have missed like a thrust and then not known where to get back in? Because looking to the left to trade the right will help you with that a lot. And what I want to show everybody today too that has never traded predictors, put them in your arsenal because they are very, very good. And they draw in real time. Okay? I kind of expect a predictor somewhere in this area, very possibly. Now, it's not drawn by this, but I'm just saying that if this heads up and takes out this high, I'd expect that at least to be higher than this one. See if we can get it. I'll speed this up a little bit again. Where would our stop be now? Well, our stop would be under lightning, which is right there. Exit on close. Okay, now, looking at this chart, if you're not already in this trade, where do you think that it actually more than likely is? Right there, see it? If you weren't even in this trade right now, watch it. It'll bounce right off that swing right there. Looking to the left, trade the right. See that? Bounce right off of it. I just hit market. Now, why did I do that? Because looking to the left to trade the right, that's where it came to. Where would my stop have to be on this particular trade, though? It would have to be right here. Like that. Now, that's 10 ticks, so I could lose $300 on this trade. And it did give me a fresher high, though. It did come back and do my what I call left-hand kissing. This is what we call the micro retracement, this left kissing right here. Draw your line right there and see if it doesn't hold. I'll get this all off here so you can see it real good and clear. See if it holds. Looking to the left to trade the right, that area should hold. Now, if you're a little less aggressive trader, you could box this in right here. See it break that little box right there? But see how looking to the left to trade the right absolutely works? And you can't see that on most charts. All right, looking to the left to trade the right. Where's your next trade on this chart? What says the team? Let's get rid of some lines and see if we can figure it out in real time. I'm going to draw, well, we've already got lightning drawn. Let's see where it's going to come to. I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to draw a line here. This is my shallow retracement right here. Come on, draw the line. Okay? Everybody see that? So I'm looking for a trade. All right, diagnosing this chart in real time. I cannot take out this swing and still head up. See, high, low, higher, high. Identified swing. So I'm going to look over here like this. This trade should end up being higher than this or equal to that, and that's where I'd be looking for a trade, would be right off of this swing right here, or let's look and see where else they broke up. Right across there. Everybody see why I picked that? Because it did a little consolidation. It popped up, it checked it. So that's lightning on what we call lightning 1. And let's see if we don't get a little trade coming down there. And that's pretty good thrust, by the way, 47.01 to 41.50 from the bottom. We haven't had what we call a mid-band trade yet. And you can always wait for the predictor too. Okay, but I'm going to see if we can get this trade anyway. Okay, we don't want to take out this swing. We want to bounce somewhere between those two lines. See if we can get it. Maybe going too fast on this one. It's hard to say. And you usually, as a rule, want a little ABC or at least a thrust retrace little thrust again. Well, what did it just do? I think we just missed it, but you can see the drift of it. Did we have the lines drawn right where it should have bounced? We did. I'm going to go ahead and take it anyway. Stop will be right underneath here. That's my lightning swing. Where would my stop be? Let's look. To the left, trade to right. Your stop would be right under here. That's your lightning swing identified now. And it may stop us out. And that's okay if it does. And there's what we call a high energy time. Let's see, didn't do an ABC this time, huh? Well, it didn't, but it came down right where I wanted it, though. You know, I'm kind of aggressive when it comes to when they come within a tick of these lines that I draw. I'm going to fade this just a little bit right here. And where would our stop be now? Well, you've got a little thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. So you could actually bring your stop underneath here or under here. See the little lightning swings? And our target would be up here at this predictor if we can get there. And to be safe on this, you could go ahead and use this lightning now, because that is a lightning swing. See the little higher than these areas here, so that's pretty much a good support area. Okay, let's kill this trade though, and let's see if we can figure out the next one. Just for the fun of it, let's see. I'm going to slow this down a little bit again, and y'all tell me where the next trade is on this chart, just the way we drew this just now. Let's diagnose it and look. All right, we have not been down here yet. That came within a tick. All right, we have not been down to this predictor yet. So I'm going to draw some lines now. Now, this is what I call the, see your thrust, retrace, thrust. This is your micro swing here. They've never taken out the top, so this is all noise. All right, so what they need to do if they're going to hold on this, we need to stay higher than this line right here or kiss it. Everybody see that? We're not taking out those highs. We got to thrust down, retrace. We haven't taken out the lows. Could bounce here, but they've already bounced there, technically in my opinion, because they missed it by a tick. And watch and see if we don't get a magic predictor showing up here pretty soon too. See if we can take a trade. I'll speed this up a little bit. Hopefully we can catch the trade. You like those too, Jonathan? Do you get in them, you know, pretty much when they come right down, like Sniper, to give an example, will get you into that trade that we just took a second ago? You can set it on like touch +1, touch +2. See if we can get a decent little trade. Now we haven't had a mid-band trade after this ratchet up, see it? So, you know, when we teach this in real time while we're even trading, we're looking for a mid-band trade. Look at this, it's coming right to us as a matter of fact. Right to our predictor. Now I missed that because it's going too fast, so I'm not going to chase it. But let's see if it doesn't do what we think it's going to do. Now if this comes back a little bit, I may chase it, but only if it comes back into this area. And as long as it's thrusting like that, I'm not chasing it. Everybody see why I'm not chasing it? Because I drew it exactly, and while I was talking, it hit it. That was a predictor trade. Look at that. On the money predictor trade. Now your safest trade in Viper, in what we call a mid-band trade, is on a long type setup, is at or below mid-band. If you took it, where would you have had the stop? Well, in that case, you look to the left, trade to right, you'd have it right here. See your high, your low, your higher high. That's your swing. See how that was a higher low just then? That would have been a good 10-tick trade, by the way. You're welcome. Yeah, that's one thing about those stops. You got to look to the left to see the swing. If you draw lightning on it, you'll see it too. See that lightning swing right there? So if you got in on that bar or even at predictor, let's say that you got it like that, then obviously you'd already have your 10 ticks. See if we can get another trade. We don't want to take this swing out right here. That's what we call our identified lightning swing. All right. They may do it though. Let's see. We've got a high, a low, a lower high, lower low, little ABC. And that's right on the line right there. We're not quite at midband just yet. We haven't gotten midband. Those predictors are heading down a little bit. See, that one's a little lower. So I expect this one to be a little lower again if it'll draw it. There's predictor, midband. Can you go long after you miss the first long? Well, yeah, absolutely. You're looking for these retracements. That's a predictor trade, by the way, right there. Right off the predictor. Missed it by a tick. See how it took out our swing by just literally one candle? Yeah, you'd put your stop just under here, by the way. So my stop would only be 7 ticks right now. I'd probably use exit on close, so it could cost me as much as 11. But as a rule, if they're going to close below it, they will. I mean, they'll either wick that and keep popping up, or they'll close out on you. We got a predictor right up here. We got swing right there. That would be good enough for me. So you got a swing. You'll want to take that out, or at least kiss it. You got another area right up here at this 54. And predictor is saying you should hit 56. Let's see if we get it. Everybody remember we traded this on Friday. Remember this one right here? We got a scalp trade, and then I got right back in here. Everybody remember that? Isn't that a past predictor? Well, it's still a predictor as far as this top goes. And keep in mind, until another one draws, you can go ahead and use a line there. It is a past predictor, though, because it's not showing it right now. And we may get a higher one. That's fine with me. Right now, they're showing 56. You want to see if it gets it? By the way, real quick, I want to show you something. Okay, let's say that you missed this trade from where we got it, a really good entry. Where do you think another entry is? Look to the left to trade the right. Anybody? Because we do this all the time in the room. We don't know if this is going to take us out yet. We do know that we've got resistance right here. Okay? So what if this pops up and pulls back into this area right here? Wouldn't that be a good trade? Well, you could box this in, absolutely. This is what we call a box-in trade. But let me show you what I mean by looking to the left to trade the right. I'll speed this up a little bit, because I traded this on Friday. We called it. All right, real quick. See it breaking resistance? Where do you think it's going to kiss? Let's just pretend you're not in anything just yet. You're not in a single thing just yet. Absolutely, isn't it? Because what do? They build a little house, so to speak. And then they've got another level of house right over here. They've broken this level of resistance right here. So where do you think they're going to more than likely? Right there. See it? Right there at support. That's where I would expect it to be. That's why in that Viper trading room we draw those lines there, because looking to the left to trade the right makes a world of difference in a person's trading. All right, and I can tell you this, even though the experts say that it's more difficult to scalp, try these breakouts. You know, that they consolidate for 4 hours straight and then they break one way or the other. What do they do first? They usually fake everybody out, go all the way back down, you know, to support or halfway to it, and then break it. These professionals know how to take you out of trades. That's why we have to be more professional than they are with our indicators. Jonathan, I do usually wait for the bar to close. I'm just doing this simply because looking to the left to trade the right, that's where it should bounce, and it did. You know, you got to kind of look at like this area here and even this area here. So see it bounce between the two of them. I know you know that because you trade very well. And then I put my stop just under there. Okay. Now these predictors are really good. I want to show you something that we actually got on this trade on Friday, and I called it live in the room too. It's kind of a tight range, but the beauty of a tight range like this is that they will give you some really, really nice trades. Now, what do you think? And you've always got to be thinking ahead of the game too. Let me take lightning off this chart, and you tell me where a trend change would be if we happen to get one, because you can pretty clearly see it. We also called this one in the room on Friday too, because this area right here is what I call a medium swing. See that number right there? Okay, now it hadn't taken out these highs just yet, although it's taken this out over here. Look at this. There's your predictor right there. And we're going to fade it just a tick. See if we can get it. Where's lightning on this chart? Lightning's right there. Everybody see it? That's your micro lightning. And by the way, you can, if you want to, you know, if for instance they hit this, and I remember on Friday, I'm almost positive when we got this little trade here, that it came just really, really close to this predictor right here. And that's still kind of a double top so far, but it's taken it out. Now, where's your lightning swing on here? It's right there. What if you actually looked for reversing it if it takes that out? That's lightning swing. Is that a risky trade? A little bit, because it didn't really go up and take out the top of that last swing with a closed bar. So that would be a risky trade for me, but I see it breaking a trend line too. But I would only scalp it if that was the case, like that. Didn't break it just yet. That is lightning. See, you got the new reverse at target. Yeah, that's pretty cool feature there. Okay, remember this trade that we called in the room? I had that going too fast. Remember this trade? We talked about if it broke support here, a lot of our people were boxing that in. Remember? It broke support, came down to Phantom. We called that trade long. Everybody remember it? At Phantom, we got this trade right here. We were looking for the target being right here and even right here where it just broke down. And watch what it did. See there, it hit that line and hit that line. And then what's it doing right now? Looking to the left to trade the right. Could you see a trade? This went a little too fast, but does everybody see what happens on these charts continually? This little box here, you know, you broke down below support right under here, right? Okay, watch what it does when it does that. Thrust, right? looking to the left to trade the right, what's it going to do? It's going to come up there and it's going to kiss where it just broke down. Everybody see that? And then what does it do after that? Down she goes. Looking to the left to trade the right will change your trading, I can tell you that. Now, where's resistance on this chart right now? All right, resistance is right here. Whoop, grabbed the wrong line. Sorry about that. Grabbed an arrow. Need this one. That is resistance right there. All right. Now, that's also what I call lightning on this chart right here. That's resistance right there at 15. Now I want to show you another little trick that I like about, by the way, this is a double bottom. See it right there? We talk about that trade all the time where they barely take out the lows. I'll bet that's a trend change actually. But anyway, we'll look at resistance right here. And I would probably, more than likely, be drawing on my charts something like this. If anybody was in our room on Friday, they know we actually got that trade. Because we were talking about it hitting this 47.01. It barely took it out. We warned everybody. And by the way, when they get up around these mid bands and stuff like that, if this doesn't roll over at 15, okay, the way I would be setting up a trade like this, I would be looking for a rollover at 15. There's my line. Okay. Now I grabbed that without a bar close. I'm just showing you how you can do this if you know just right where you want to hit it at. And then this trade did something different. And you're going to lose on a trade here and there. All right. See how this is oscillating right around mid-band right here? This was after Janet Yellen came up to the counter, started speaking. We had what we call a high energy box here. Now, we basically protected our trade. We didn't reverse it or anything like that. But if anybody remembers this on Friday, this, if I remember right in through here, just shot off like a bullet. But I'm going to show you how to get in this trade anyway, because this is going to stop us out. We're down on this trade. See it? Okay, we're out of the trade. But where is our, now that we're breaking, looking to the left to trade the right, where's support on this chart? It's right there at that line. Thrust, retrace, thrust should come to that line. There it is right there. Where is it again if you miss it? Looking to the left to trade the right. Where is it again if you miss it? Well, you would wait for this to thrust up. Let's go ahead and let it do it, if it will. Thrust up, pull back into there, and see if it doesn't do something just like that. And always look to the left to trade the right. All right? Did we get taken out of that one? We did, didn't we? That's because we had just 5 ticks. We hit our target. There's a trade. See it taking out support or resistance. This was when this thing had broken up pretty nicely, by the way. But what if you miss this even? Okay, let's say that you weren't in this trade. Would you take this breakout like right here? You see where it's breaking that resistance right there? Or would you take a chance on that? Okay, if not, what you've got to do is you've got to wait for a little pullback. See where it's coming back into support? You just missed the trade. See there? Now, usually if I miss one like that, I will take a chance if it comes even anywhere in the 50% area of that pullback. See why? Because you're starting to get that ratcheting up. Everybody see that? Now, what if you absolutely just missed this entire thing? What do you think is going to happen on this chart? It's going to come back and it's going to kiss an area on the left, and you're going to be able to see it in real time. All right, let's just pretend we're not even in this trade even. Where is our lightning swing? Well, right now our lightning swing is here, here, now it's here. Everybody see that? So where do you think the next trade is on this chart? Let's see if we can get it. Could bounce here. Can't take this out. That's our lightning swing. Thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace. Actually, it's there. And we should get a trade between those two lines. Now watch what will happen in real time, because we called this trade on Friday too. Watch this chart is going to draw a predictor, because it's calculating all these prices right now as we speak, and it's going to draw a predictor on this chart even after this monster nice move. Watch and see if it doesn't do it. No predictor yet. There it is. Wouldn't you think if it gets down there to that predictor that that would be a pretty good little area to jump in that trade? That's also that lightning swing that I just identified. So let's go ahead and do this with some contracts. We're looking for a pullback right into predictor. We could even use sniper. Like a touch +2, turn on sniper. You don't want to take the breakout. Got to wait for the little retracement. Those predictors will make a big difference in how much money you make trading too. They draw in real time, and we did them purposely as a little ellipse because we like the ellipses to begin with, and the fact that you can draw your line right on top of it. There you go. You just fired a trade. It really doesn't get any better, seriously, than looking to the left to trade the right. And if you do nothing more than just this simple little trade right here, that one right there, that'll make you some serious coin. This one will make you some serious coin. Mid bands, 80 to 85% probability trade, always look to the left. Try to get to the predictors. If it's a long trade, you want to get at least within a tick or so of mid-band. Even a tick or so under it is even better. If it's short, it's the opposite. It's above or at. And then your phantom trades are your deeper retracements, and those tight little boxes are lightning type trades. And it'll make a huge difference in whether or not you make money in trading. Let's look at our lightning real quick. All right, we got a high, basically same high. So I'm going to say that's my low. Everybody see that? So I'm going to put my stop just underneath that low. Anytime I get it where it just barely takes it out, see that little wick above, barely takes that out again, I don't use this one as my stop. I'm going to use this one right here, because that's what you want to do. You want to always use what we call the identified lightning swing. What if you miss this one like right now, let's say? Well, let's kill it and see if we can get it again. Box it in just right above resistance right there. Take the trade. Now that would be what I'd consider a tad riskier trade because it's already bounced off our little ellipse, but we box those in all the time. See if we can get it. No, this wouldn't be a phantom, John. The phantom is the opposite side. Okay? If, for instance, you were to get a phantom on crude here, you would be looking for this phantom. Okay? This phantom is doing nothing but just stepping up. Let me just clear the chart and I'll show you what all that looks like. Bear with me a second. I'm going to get everything off of here except we'll put on the dynamic trend. Okay. Now looking at this chart right now, see when you go red, for instance, you're looking for this phantom to short. When you go to this green color or even blue, you're looking for this one down here. Now what we talk about in actually trading this in real time, you're not going to always get down there to that low. Let me show you how to trade it. Where'd my toolbar go? Object Trader toolbar. There we go. All right, so what you do is you draw a line at your phantom. See, there's where phantom is right now. Sorry about that being blue. We'll change it to white. All right, and then you draw another line at line 2. All right, so anywhere between those two areas right there, that's where you're looking for the trade. If it touches like below it and then pops back up above it, you know, take the trade or box it in even. Okay. When it's blue though, you know, any color of your longer term like yellow, you can trade kind of both ways. But when it's blue or green on that mid band, you're looking for that trade down in here between line 2 and line 1. When it's short, you're looking for it between line 7 and line 6. So your sweet spot would be like this area right across here, like that. Okay, and then of course if it's long, your sweet spot's right here, 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 back to here again, see, with the red, and then back to here again. That's the way you do phantoms. It's after a trend change. And the trend change can be minor as far as that goes because that midband changes quite a bit because obviously the prices change quite a bit. But as long as that trend is actually this green or blue, we're looking for this phantom right down here or here. So between those two lines is where you're really looking for that phantom trade. Like that. Well, darn it, this thing won't draw. Like that. Okay, so if that does come down to a phantom, then that would be a good trade. You want to see if it actually did? Let's find out. Let's just speed it up. We won't care about this trade. I'll kill it real quick. Let's see if it does a phantom trade. Now, where's phantom now? Phantom's right. See it? I've got it going really, really fast. Now, you know we would have still gotten a bunch of this trade, obviously. I want to show you this phantom trade if it does it in real time. See where phantom is? We're going to automate that little trade before long. See where phantom is? Right across there. Just like that. You want to see if it tagged a little trade? We'll find out here in a minute. It may not. We may not have gotten a phantom. I didn't. Yeah, we were trading past up till 10 o'clock, so we may have gotten this phantom even. There's a phantom trade sitting right down in there. Now notice I'm not looking for these other trades right now. I'm going to try to show you how to get a phantom. And then put your target at mid-band. Now I may have gotten that a little bit early. The phantom is actually right down here. I'll go ahead and do one more set of contracts. That's phantom trade. It hit exactly where we wanted it to hit. Now, a safe way to trade this trade, let me show you another safe way. Obviously, I did the aggressive way right then, but notice how my box perfectly hit my phantom trade. See it? This is also what we call a box-in trade. See this little swath of candles right here? You can actually take it when it takes out that little box. Now you want to be careful with the phantom trade taking the lightning trade, because your lightning trade right now is right here and our target's only right here to begin with. Because a phantom trade, you want to try to take coin at mid-band. Okay, let's go ahead and take our coin at mid-band. See if we get it. What kicked off that phantom trade? The prices. Now, like I say, it doesn't mean that, this phantom trade is going to do any more than just totally, it could tank it, because this is what we call a deep retracement. Okay. Now, I would probably be putting my stop as soon as this pops up above this little box again. I'm going to put my stop right there so it's nice and tight. And also, let me show you something else you look for. Looking to the left to trade the right. See this little resistance area right there? And right there. You may not get to mid-band because they've got two resistance areas. So you could fade it just a little bit if you wanted to. Now, what would we be looking for if this thing decides to break down? Well, I can see a trade setting up before our eyes because we called this in the room too. See that swing right there? If that does not take out 18 by very much and rolls, this is a trade we look for a trend change. See if we can get up there. Now, by the way, you can even reverse a trade as far as that goes too. Yeah, the kiss would be at 18, so you could actually go ahead and protect your coin. You'd only be making 6 ticks, but that's still good. 6 ticks in your favor is better than, 10 against you by far. But you remember this trade we called in the room on Friday? Because we took the long trade, and we also called the short trade when it hits this and rolled. Above resistance just a little bit. It's going to hit mid-band. Look at that. Close enough to it. Not yet. That is resistance. Now this could go coast to coast if it takes out that resistance, keeps on going, but see it rolled right there at resistance. Look to the left to trade the right. You'd be looking for target at least there. It's already been there, so go lower, down to there, like that. And then you put your stop just above mid-band, just in case this was nothing but a little fake and your lightning swing is right here to begin with. See it right there? So if they take that out with a closed bar, they may go ahead and take this up instead. But everybody remember that in the room on Friday? We said if oil hit 18 and rolled over, that you could box it in. Everybody remember that? There's several places to trade this, by the way. Little third candle back. See where it tries to take that out? Stop would be right there for right now, just in case, because we've got still a long background. This could easily bust back to the upside, but it would have to take lightning out to do so. So we'd take that trade. And if you were in the room on Friday, I think everybody heard that particular trade actually called in real time too, because we were looking for a rollover at 18. If you didn't get it there, where do you think you'd get it? You want to see if it'll do it in real time? And this is the last thing because we're running over. Let me get rid of, do one more. Get rid of lightning real quick. Where do you think another trade is on this chart if you want to take even a nice safe trade? Watch and see if we can get it. See where this is coming, trying to come back right across there. Already did, actually. See how it just hit perfectly, a little kiss trade? I'd like for that bar to go back up a little bit, if at all possible, but if it closes down, I'm going to hit it anyway. Good enough. I'll take that right there. Reason I did that, see how it broke down below support, hit it perfectly? See where your support area was? So it little thrust down, pulls back, kisses, and rolls over. And that was screaming to be a trend change by them. We even called this out in the room on Friday. We had a 46 high, low of 15, got a lower high here. This oscillated around here, but once it took this out, some of our people actually shorted that down to phantom. And the other people took phantom long, got a 10-tick trade, and then when it rolled over at 18, they got the short. There's trades just literally all over the charts. You just got to learn to see them. And I'll tell you what, if you learn to really look at these predictors, and again, don't just take every single one of them, but look to the left to trade the right and see if that predictor is not right where you think it should be to begin with, because that's where they'll end up. All right. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And by the way, if you look at your charts from Friday, I'll bet you, because I was talking to somebody after the room closed, that this did a huge thrust down. And if you waited for a phantom type trade, I believe it got it. All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming. And keep in mind, too, trending doesn't happen all the time. I mean, we usually get a decent trend most every single day, at least a decent trend. But I'm here to tell you, if you can't also do a little scalping with predictors and stuff, I don't care what the experts say. Scalping, I've got one trader that's on vacation right now that makes $1 million a year trading, and she goes for $5,000 every single day with 10 trades, and she scalps 10 ticks. And she uses just exactly what I taught today. All right, thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you on Monday morning. Bye, everyone. Thanks.